Good day, good day, good day. How are things? What's happening? Nice to be a 360 family. Thanks for joining me on 360 Live. On the 31st of August, last day of August. In South Africa, we usually get the August winds, and we experienced a little bit of that on the farm this weekend as we decided to head up north to enjoy a bit of the peaceful bushveld. It doesn't get much better than that. Let me know what you guys do to go and switch off. It's almost meditational in a way to go to the farm. It's just acres and acres of space and trees and nature, wildlife. It's just so good for the soul. And I actually want to know, ocean, or I don't know, what do you call it overseas, forest or bushveld? What do you guys prefer? A lot of greenery, or do you prefer the ocean? Personally, for me, I like both, but the bushveld will always have a very soft spot in my heart, as I grew up in Bella Bella, previously called Wombaths. So sort of just crept into my heart from a very young age to be in nature rather than the ocean. I love the ocean as well. We generally do go to the coast in December time, holidays. We get the beach bods out, the speedos, and enjoy a bit of time in the sun, on the sand, and the ocean. But as soon as I get back home, I sort of always feel like it's time to head into the bushveld, which we did this weekend. It was an incredibly special one, as we've been working on a project for a while now, my father-in-law and I, and we've built a house. Not a huge house, but just something for us to sort of go there whenever we want. So what a fantastic weekend with the family. Very, very special moments, as I sort of just realized all over again, my children are growing up at a rapid rate. And to all of you with children out there, slow things down, enjoy the small moments. We had a bit of a dance off last night. As you know, I'm not a keen dancer. I feel a little bit shy when it comes to throwing the hips around. I can do it in a dark room when maybe just my wife is watching, maybe not even. But last night, in front of the in-laws with the children, the kids actually started it. We decided to do some dances, and we actually played I Spy. I don't know if you know the game I Spy, with my little eyes, something that starts with an N or something that's green. And whoever got it right had to go and do a dance. So I, on purpose, didn't get any right until one moment where I just took a silly guess, and true as, it just ended up being right. And I had to do a dance. Not ideal, but I did it. Very special moments. Back home now, and very happy to announce that Manchester United won yesterday, 3-2. Such a thriller. Typical of a team that's low in confidence, out of form, sort of reshaping, finding their feet again, rebuilding the team. And little moments like that, little wins like that, can be huge in the context of a season and that rebuilding phase, where you just get a bit of confidence back, start believing in each other. You start gelling together better as a team. And you saw the emotion on Bruno Fernandes's face as he scored that winner, what it meant to him and how hard he's been trying for the last few years. I haven't always been a fan, guys, as I felt like you almost try to take on too much as a captain. And sometimes it's the best just to lead with calmness. Yes, a lot of energy, but not not too much emotion, not trying too hard, because it can sort of affect the team in a way. But definitely better days ahead for United, as I feel they are sort of starting to find something. Still a long way to go. Not the ideal start to the season, as they lost to Grimsby. They got knocked out of the Carabao Cup, and hopefully you guys did watch that on Fan Code, as I did urge you on to do so. But hopefully for United fans, you didn't. I ended up watching it, and it was very painful. Just one of those days where nothing clicked. They did actually fought back nicely, got to a penalty shootout, and lost, I think, 12-11. As Brian Mbeumo, I don't know even how to pronounce it. I heard the commentator saying Mbeumo. I'll just say Brian Mbeumo. It's sort of just easier for me. Anyway, he missed that final kick. Yes, the team helped me right here. Bumo. I don't know. Doesn't matter. As I tell my children often, it doesn't matter how you pronounce a word or a name. Just get it out there. Just believe in it. And if people laugh at you, just say, that's the way I pronounce it. Who cares? Anyway, let's get into the show, guys. It's not going to be very long. Please post your questions down below. Do you prefer the bush or the ocean? I want to see that come out. I'd call it bush here, but for other parts of the world, it might be forest or just, I don't know, some hideaway or farm. I personally prefer the nature with the wildlife. I just feel so small. And yes, to a certain extent, obviously the ocean as well, especially if you go out in a little boat, you do feel pretty small as well. But there's one problem for me is I get very seasick. I cannot do that anymore. I did like 9 deep sea fishing trips in my life, and all 9 times I got incredibly sick, like literally man down on the deck. Such a horrible experience. I last for about an hour. I know I have about 60 minutes in me, and then I got to get off that boat. But yeah, long and short is I prefer the bushveld and nature. All right, let's get into it. Ravichandran Ashwin, it's called retirement on a fantastic career, stellar career. It's got to be said. What a wonderful player. What a scientist of the game, a doctor, a professor of the game, right? He always took it to the limit with the rules book and generally got it right, even though it was frowned upon sometimes. I always have a lot of respect for guys who study the game, and he was one of those players. Obviously, incredible skill, huge a player, an icon in India, and won so many games for Team India and for CSK over the years. He also moved to a few other teams, but never really settled in those teams. In my opinion, he should have always just stayed at CSK. It wasn't always up to him. Obviously, there's a lot of things that go into that, retentions and all kinds of team selection and what a team is trying to do in a certain season. But I will always remember him as a yellow jerseys guy. Won a lot of games for them as well. Very underrated with a bat in hand. Scored a few test match hundreds. Won a lot of games for India with a bat in hand as well. Incredibly underrated and not spoken enough about how he showed a lot of character with a bat in hand. Generally with Team India in trouble, he would sort of come through and have an impact on the game. I have the world of respect for this guy. I know he's got a lot of plans in the future, as he calls it here. My time as an explorer of the game around various leagues, that will begin today for Ashwin. So all the very best, Ash. Congrats on a wonderful career and all the very best with your future endeavors and everything you take on. I know you're going to make a big success of it, as you did carry yourself incredibly well on and off the field over many, many years. So well done to Ash for that. And if you have time, give him a shout out on social media platforms. He definitely deserves that. He always gave his best. Never a guy to shy away from the battle. And well done again. All right, Rahul Dravid, another big headliner as Rahul's moving on from the Rajasthan Royals guys, from the pink jerseys. I don't know exactly what happened there. It sort of sounds to me like it was an owner's call, management kind of call. They gave him an option to have a more of a broader role in the team. He sort of turned that down. Maybe he was upset because he really wanted to be still involved. He wanted to be in that dugout. Maybe it was his call. I don't know. I'm pretty sure we'll find out once we get him talking about it in the future, maybe. But Rahul, obviously, leaving big footsteps behind, big shoes to fill, actually. He's a larger-than-life kind of character, knows a lot about the game. And I personally have spoken to youngsters before on this show as well, actually, some of my interviews, where a lot of people speak about him having a huge influence in their careers. So, yeah, you will definitely be missed. Obviously, sometimes you see it in the Premier League as well, Football League, where the managers and the coaches are always under huge pressure to perform and to bring trophies home. And once they don't, they start hearing from the owners and whoever make the decisions for the various leagues, franchises. So we don't know the facts really. It sounds to me the fact that he turned down that other role, sort of that he was kicked out, which is never ideal. But maybe Rajasthan have different ideas for the upcoming season. Maybe they want to shake things up a bit and move forward with that. I don't think they had the greatest auction last time, as they let go of some incredible players, the likes of Josh Butler, to name but a few, which I thought was a mistake. Sometimes it's a good thing, but not overly aggressive. You can let one or two go, but they let a huge bulk of their team go at once. I think a gradual sort of decline or a gradual, the word I'm looking for? Anyway, the word gradual, you know what I'm trying to say. It's sort of let one or two go per season, not everyone at once. Let's quickly go back to a couple of questions about Ash here. and sort of cover the IPL aspect of that. If we can pull up one or two, I see there's lots about that. Do you think more Indian players will follow Ashwin's path? Look, he's played a lot of cricket, guys. I don't have anything negative to say about his retirement. He obviously feels that he's had his innings and he had a very fruitful, long career. I think what you mean with this question is sort of the explorer of different leagues. I don't know exactly what that means. Maybe you'll be some sort of a scout. Maybe you'll play a mentor kind of role to different teams around the world. And I mean, that sounds like a wonderful job. Obviously intense because you need to be at all the auctions, all the training sessions, all the team meetings. But I think he'll do a stellar job of finding talent, scouting some of the best players in the world and urging them on into certain directions. And also sort of playing that mentor role. I think he's an ideal candidate for that. Maybe that's what it means. I'm sure he will elaborate about it in the future. Ashwin has retired from IPL but wants to play other leagues. Play other leagues. How cool would it be to see him in SA20, and do you think he'll do well over there? Okay, so if he's still keen to play, that is a whole different story. I don't quite know how to read into the explorer part of it. Maybe he's not going to play and sort of play a different role. Maybe he will still be a player, and maybe I read it all wrong, which is fantastic for cricket lovers around the world that we're still going to see him. It will be fantastic for various teams around the world, including the SA20. Hopefully he comes to the Pretoria Capitals and help my home team out in doing a bit better. They haven't had a great start to their SA20 career as a team. We're going to the 4th season this coming year, and we'll talk about the SA20 shortly, so just hang in there with me as we'll cover a bit more about that. It will be great to see more and more Indian players excuse me, come and join in on the fun of the SA20. I think it's a wonderful tournament, and Ash will play a big role in helping that tournament grow and get even better. He's reportedly put his name in the ILT20, okay, as per for various news outlets. Can't always trust the news, but maybe it is true, and I will definitely be in his ear about coming to play the SA20. Hopefully that comes off. He has signed up for ILT20 auction. There we go. That's confirming that 100 in England and other global tournaments, marking a new phase as a cricket explorer. Thanks for clearing that out. I'm not always 100% accurate with my take of things. I was trying to read into that tweet of his, an explorer sort of, I don't know. It can mean a lot of things. I've got a bit of a scratch in my throat. Excuse me for 1 second. There we go. That should be better. A proper cough. Anyway, let's move on, guys. Thanks for that. Lots of other news about retirement. Dane van Niekerk, the legendary leg spinner from the women's team in the Protea setup, who's had so many incredible games over the years, decided to retire in 2023, March. And as many cricketers do, you sort of start missing it, as I did. I never put my hand up to come back internationally or professionally to a certain extent. I'll put my hand up for the WCL, as we'll talk about that in a minute as well. But Dane deciding to come back from retirement completely in full force. She is open for, whatever selection she can get domestically, internationally, and hopefully it will be a great comeback from her. It's great to have heard her speak about the way she sort of left the game. She lost her father, obviously very emotional, and she needed some time to work through a few personal things. Obviously a very emotional time for her, as a dad obviously played a huge role in her career and her picking up a bat as a youngster. So losing him would have played a big role in that. And I'm trying to find that exact phrase, but sort of she decided that she's found a bit of peace and she's going to write her story now. She's content with where she's at now. And it's all about that mental state. She feels fresh and ready to take things on again, which is wonderful news to all cricket lovers, all Dane van Niekerk fans. I've always been a huge fan. She's a bit of a game changer. She always has a big impact on the game wherever she plays. So it's great to have her back, and all the very best. Dane, let's quickly just talk about us. I mentioned the WCL, guys, and it's great to see this report here. The WCL 2025 smashes viewership records despite no India-Pakistan clash, which is quite remarkable. As you know, when India and Pakistan face off, or whenever India or Pakistan play in a game, the viewership goes up tremendously. And without them actually playing against each other, It was remarkable to see the numbers and the records being broken. The World Championship of Legends drew 409 million viewers worldwide. It's a 20% growth from the previous season. Wonderful, wonderful performance from the league itself. And I mean, the players enjoyed it. I've heard that the fans enjoyed watching the action, and that is just great to know. And I'm looking forward to next season already. Gonna have to stay as fit and healthy and fit and strong as possible. Make sure I keep that eye in, and looking forward to go on and take on that trophy again and hopefully defend it. The SA20 guys, let's talk about that. We briefly touched on that, as I will soon take some questions. But look at this. I don't know if you don't call this the Fantastic Four. I don't know which four will be the Fantastic Four, but this is for the Durban's Super Giants this coming SA20. Unbelievable signings. Noor Ahmed was obviously already there, Heinrich Klaassen as well, but Josh Butler, Sunil Narayan. Now look at that. How do you play against that? And they still have 29.5 million rand in the salary cap remaining. Remarkable unit there. Whoever they get around that powerhouse for, it's going to definitely be a very tough team to beat this coming season. Just thinking of 8 overs, every single 20-over match, to face 8 overs of Narayan and Noor together, that's almost half of your bowling overs done for the day. And it's tough, that, guys. That is an uphill battle as a batter. And then just when you think you're out of the clear, you run into Josh Butler and Heinrich Klaassen as a bowling unit. That is tough, and they still have a lot of money to spend. So if they get it right for the rest of the squad, they will be a force to be reckoned with in this coming SA20. Obviously, my Cape Town, the Mumbai Indians link, owned by the Ambani family, will be defending champions going to season 4. They had a wonderful, wonderful tournament last year. Kagiso Rabada had a great tournament as well. They decided, you know what, we are defending champs. We're going to retain the majority of the group, or at least the core. And they did a fantastic, stellar job of that. Rickleton, Linda, Corbin Bosch, Rashid Khan, Trent Bolt, Nicholas Puran, Kagiso Rabada retained. Only 11.5 left in the cap. But, I mean, with that core, they don't need a lot more than that. They just need to be smart with the way they spend the rest. And they will have a fantastic squad as well. Most probably next to Durban Super Giants, the two strongest squads in this coming season. Quick question. My Cape Town have huge pressure to defend the title this year. Obviously, I mean, whether you are defending or not, there's always pressure in big T20 tournaments. The SA20 globally, the eyes will be on you. And most of these players want to play in different leagues around the world as well. So from a personal point of view, you're always feeling the pressure. You want to maintain your spot in different leagues, but also as a team, you want to go out there and perform well and make the owners proud and tell them, whatever you paid for me, I was worth it. You know, there's always that pressure in the back of your mind. It's a fantastic squad there. Let's move on to the next one as we see, have a look at the others. The CSK link here, the Joburg Super Kings, JSK, captained by Faf du Plessis for the last few seasons. Haven't had a great run at it. They've made some of their knockouts, but generally not as consistent as they would want to be. Obviously coached by Stephen Fleming, the very experienced CSK coach as well. I thought they did some nice signings here. James Vince, Akil Hussain, the West Indian left-arm spinner. Richard Gleeson, moving over from the Sunrisers Eastern Cape to JSK. I think it was a season ago he did that move. Donovan Ferreira, the powerhouse hitter. He played in the 100 as well in the UK now, hitting some big sixes. 21.5, still a decent amount of money left to be spent there. They're generally a street smart team, but they haven't had a great run, so they'll want to fix that and make sure the remainder of the auction goes well for them, or the upcoming auction rather. Okay, moving on to the next team. Let's run through the teams before I take more questions. This is the Paul Royals, the pink team. Luandre Pretorius, left-hand, fantastic player. I have been in touch with him, and I just have a lot of time for him. I think he's a wonderful player. Great hand-eye coordination. Reminds me a lot of Quinton de Kock, who I think is his role model as well. But Luandre has a very bright future ahead of him. David Miller, very experienced. Don't have to say much about him. You guys know all about David Miller. Bjorn Fortuin, left-arm spinner, very, very consistent, very accurate. and a very underrated player as well. Mujib Ur-Rahman will be his spin partner. Shikanda Raza as well, off spinner, and Ruben Herman, wonderful player who scored a big 100 for South Africa A team last week, or I think actually in this week, and they have a fair amount of money to be spent as well. To spend still 14.5. Decent squad there, decent core. I don't think that's a tournament winning half a squad yet, but hopefully the rest of the auction or the auction will go well for them. Next up, I know we have Pretoria Capital still. There they are. Sharaf Gainguli is involved with this team. Also Sean Pollock this year. Will Jack, Sherfane Rutherford, Andre Russell. Very, very powerful three there, and a lot of money left in the salary cap, 32.5. So they've decided to do an entire shake-up, as they haven't had a great run at things either. Similar to JSK, always look good on paper to a certain extent, but sort of struggle to perform and come through in the tournament. But really good start there, Andre Russell. I think he'll enjoy the wicket here at Centurion Park. Sherfane Rutherford, very powerful player as well. It's great to see him here with the Pretoria Capitals, Will Jacks. So we'll see what they get up to. Not much more to add, except for it's time to shine. It's time to make the people from Pretoria proud and to sort of get them excited about things. All right, moving on, guys. I think we'll take some questions. Oh, sorry, one more one more squad, Sunrisers Eastern Cape. They won back-to-back seasons, season 1 and 2. Didn't go all the way last year, but still had a good tournament. Tristan Stubbs, I think they made the final, right? If I'm not mistaken. Almost went all the way again. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe just help me out there, team. I'm struggling to remember who played my Cape Town in that final. Was it them? Could they have gone all the way? Wow. Anyway, I might be wrong. Tristan Stubbs. Yes, I'm right. Sunrisers Eastern Cape. Thanks, guys. So actually 3 finals in a row for this team, guys. Absolutely incredible. Under the coaching of Adrian Birrell. I used to work with him at the Proteas setup. Wonderful, wonderful man. He's a better human being than he is a coach, in my opinion. And he's a wonderful coach. Very nice score once again here. Tristan Stubbs, Ala Gazanfar. I don't know him that well. Maybe you guys can give me a little bit of info about him. I think he might be from Afghanistan. Maybe I'm wrong. Adam Milne, in the form of his life, the New Zealander. I see him playing really good cricket wherever he goes. Johnny Bairstow, the Englishman. Marco Jansen, the tall left-arm fast from South Africa. 21.5 still to spend in that cap. And knowing Adrian Birrell, they will get it right and they will be contending once again. I think that's it. It's a mouthful, but it gives you a bit of a rundown of what to expect for this coming season of the SA20. I'm very excited, and I hope you all are, as it is, in my opinion, the second biggest tournament, second most successful tournament after the IPL around the world. Jason, thanks for this. AB, gaan jy hierdie jaar in die SA20 speel? Sal great wees om jou te sien speel op tuisgronde. Jason, thanks for that. He's asking me if I'm going to play the SA20 again. Definitely tempting. There's no doubt about it. But guys, my days are done. I'm over my best, in my opinion, even though I still love the game. Listen, honestly, if I had to be very, very honest, if it was just me hitting cricket balls, I probably would still be playing. But being a professional sportsman, there goes a lot into it, a lot more into it than just me being out there with a bat in hand hitting cricket balls. That's why I committed to the WCL. It was the closest tournament to that I could find to what I wanted, and that was just to go out there and enjoy my cricket and hit some balls, and not worry too much about photo shoots, marketing campaigns, team meetings, team analysis, meet and greets, lots of traveling around the world, everywhere, city to city, every second day. You're flying. Meanwhile, my family sits at home. My kids are growing up, and I'm flying around the world trying to chase some sort of a dream. I've lived out my dream completely, even though my dream didn't bring me a much wanted World Cup or an IPL trophy. I sort of made a lot of other dreams come true, and that is, I enjoyed my cricket. I enjoyed hitting the ball, and I left every single bit of ounce of energy out there. So I gave it my all. I will probably still be playing WCL. Maybe I'll surprise you guys with something else as well in the future. I don't know, but to play professional cricket again, as intense as the SA20 or the IPL or the 100 or the Big Bash or some of the real serious stuff where there are meetings on a daily basis, lots of flights around the world, lots of analysis stuff, lots of marketing things as you have to look after the sponsorships of the various teams you play for. It sort of just really drains you, and you find yourself in the middle of a photo shoot going, what am I doing here? I'm not even playing cricket. I'm away from home for 2 months at a time. What am I doing here? And those are the kind of questions that came to mind at the back end of my career, as it was about 2% playing cricket and 98% doing all kinds of other things, as I just mentioned now. Hopefully that makes sense. And that is the main reason I am not committed to playing big tournaments anymore. But WCL for 2-3 weeks once a year is something I feel I can do and look forward to. Thanks for that, Jason. Moving on, guys. I think that's it for the main topics, right? We'll take a few questions, and then I'm going to leave you as I'm going to go watch some football. I know there's some live football happening right now. I play a bit of fantasy league with the Premier League, and I know Nottingham Forest playing right now. Wood, the New Zealand striker, is one of my picks for this week. So I don't know if he scored, how they're doing. Maybe the game is done. I don't even know, but I'm hoping he scores some points for my fantasy league system that I've got going. Here's a question, Gotham. Hello, ABSO. Do you think would shine in this SA20 and eventually get a SA call up? Tough to say, as my two main picks from last season sort of broke through already. Luandre Pretorius, Devil Brevis. I loved watching them play last season. And not long after, both of them are in the Proteas setup, scoring big hundreds, doing well, doing amazing things. And I hope there are more wonderful things ahead for them, as they have a long way to go. And I feel still a lot of improvement left. So looking forward to that. I know Man City is leading 1-0, guys, just quickly. Over Brighton. Haaland, oh my gosh, I didn't pick him. I was sort of, I've used my wild card, by the way, this week, because I had a shocking start to my fantasy league the first 2 weeks. And I used my wild card for the third game week. I didn't pick Haaland, and I had a headache over that. He's just too expensive, as I went for a more balanced side, a longer-term outlook. Because I used my wild card early, I decided to have a very balanced team with a bit of money left in that bank to spend on a big player in the next couple of game weeks. So I didn't really want to hear Haaland scoring, but anyway, I think he's a wonderful player and I'm happy for him. But not good for me. If I did pick him, he was probably going to be my captain this week, and I ended up going with Richarlison, Tottenham Hotspur's front striker, and he only scored 4 points for me. Not great. So yeah, a bit of a bummer. But other than that, I'm on 60 points this week. Not bad for a wild card, and I'll still use that triple captain and a few other tricks up my sleeve as I have some ground to make up. What are your thoughts on the recently concluded Oz SA series? How is the Proteas going now, and expect them from the future? I think it's a young team with enough experience around them. A lot of work still need to be done in the batting lineup, in my opinion. Very frantic in the top order. I'm talking white ball stuff now, as the Aussie series was T20s and ODIs. I spoke to you guys about Brevis, and some of the youngsters, Luandre Pretorius. Very promising future stars, but still very frantic, a little bit inconsistent. Bretsky, wonderful hand-eye coordination, all the shots in the book. Takes on way too many things, in my opinion, in the first 10 overs of an ODI. Just very, very risk orientated. He pulls it off more often than not, and the record speaks for itself. His record is phenomenal, so you can never sort of go against that. But I want to urge him on to be a bit smarter about his risk-taking up front, because I feel he can score an incredible amount of hundreds for the Proteas in the future. If he can sort that out, he will be more consistent, and plenty of time in an ODI to sort of go into fifth gear later on in the innings when you identify certain moments. Same thing for Brevis, same thing for Luandre Pretorius. But very exciting future stars for South Africa, those, and I'll keep a close eye on the three of them. Moving on, thanks for that. One more question, guys. I'm out of breath here. It was a quick fire session, this, and I had a lot of fun. I'll take one more, maybe from a super fan. I don't know. Forest, Earth, Energy. Good. Finally, we get back to that. Kamalika, thank you very much. I am on your boat. Hint, hint, a bit of a tongue in the cheek there, as I don't really like to get on a boat. But with this one, I am on your boat, enjoying nature over the ocean. I love the ocean, but I can't go onto the ocean as I get very seasick. Maybe outside of nature. Sorry, I missed that. The Marvel Zone. What do you think Dale Steyn would prefer? Oh my goodness, I think if he could, he would sleep in the sea. He would be a mermaid if he could. He'd play in that movie. Dale loves the ocean. He loves surfing. He lives right next to the ocean. He can't get enough of it. I know that he also loves the bushveld though. So he also grew up in the northern parts of South Africa, in a place called Palabora, which is like bordering on the Kruger Park. So he definitely grew up in the bush. He loves it, but he sort of fell in love with fishing and surfing over the last 10, 20 years of his life, and he absolutely loves the ocean. That's it. That concludes today's 360 Live. Guys, thanks for joining me. Thanks for contributing to a wonderful live session. Thanks for all the questions, taking part in this fun 30 minutes that I have on the weekends. Follow me on social media platforms to stay up to date with all the news and funny things I get up to. Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Also like this show, today's show that is. Subscribe to the channel, please. Let's get over that 600,000 mark now. It's about time. We're over 500,000, but I want to get to that 1 million mark, guys, and we want to celebrate it together. It'll be a big celebration if we get to 1 million mark. So subscribe to the channel and have a fantastic Sunday. Go enjoy a bit of time outside if you can. Go walk around, enjoy a bit of fresh air, and have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. And all the very best with the week ahead. I'll see you all soon. Take care and bye now.